How's it going, everybody? Welcome to MLS Fantasy and Melissa Giraldo FC. Unfortunately, Ron Burgundy Brigade has passed, and I'm not going to use that name for this season for MLS Fantasy. I'm just going to use Melissa Giraldo FC, which is unoriginal, but I don't really care. In this video, I'm going to take you through the squad that I have set up for this weekend, and I'm also going to go over some rules because I imagine that some of you watching this are not familiar with MLS Fantasy and the way that it works. So to just get this started, I'm going to talk about some changes that MLS Fantasy has made from the last season to this one. So the very first thing that I noticed was that you now pick a squad of 18 players rather than a squad of 15 players. And I think the main reason that they're doing this, and they also increased the team value and the amount of money that you can spend to 120 million rather than just 100. But I think the reason that they're doing this is because of all of the bye weeks and all of the double game weeks, and just kind of to be able to have more players at your disposal. And the reason that there are so many buys in MLS is because there is an odd number of teams currently in the league. There's 21, so almost every week somebody's either going to have a double game week or somebody's going to have a bye. And you know, that's I'm pretty sure that's the reason that they switched to an 18-player fantasy squad. So the team that I have set up, I don't know, my browser's kind of acting a little slow. I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the team that we have set up is Ricketts in goal, Harrington, Sarkodie, and Yedlin as the back three. Morales, Nagbe, Anor, Barnes, Duca in the midfield, and Fernandez and McGee up top. And also on the bench we have Fernandez, Moffat, Remick, Myers, Griffith, Fondy, and I'm not sure how to say that guy's name. Is it Gabelik? I don't know. But a lot of players in here are on the bench are only 4 million, and that's the cheapest that I could buy in that position. And the only players that are cheaper than 4 million are goalkeepers that go as low as 3 million, I want to say. So it's kind of weird that, you know, they let you pick 18 people when in order to have a really solid team, you're going to have to buy these players that are really cheap. Like, let's see, Remick, Griffiths, Fondy, and Gabelik. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but that's how I am going to say it. But yeah, all four of those players are 4 million, and it just so happens that Remick actually might end up playing, and as well as Fondy. I think those two actually kind of have a chance of playing. So yeah, in order to have a really good starting team, you kind of have to have some of those players that are really inexpensive. So I have 4 of them, but hopefully Remick plays, so maybe his value will even go up, because actually a lot of people own him because he has the potential to play. As you see here, 25.3% of the people that do fantasy have him. So to go a little bit more in depth into the team, I went out and bought 4 Portland players because I support them, and as of the last time I checked the the fixtures throughout the whole season, we don't have a single bye, which is very, very helpful to just have a solid group of players that never have a match off. So that could easily have changed by now, and we might have one, a bye that is. But for now, I just have 4 of them, and because we also start and have the way that our season starts, we have 2 home games, and that's hopefully going to lead to some good scores in there. And a lot of the people in here are very common, like Sarkodie, as you see, owned by 31% of the people. Yedlin's pretty popular at 25.7%. So I wanted to kind of mix it up and also throw in somebody who's a bit more of a gamble. And so the player that I went with here is Pedro Morales. As you see, 0.2% of the people own him, and that's mainly because the Whitecaps just signed him a couple of days ago and just got put into fantasy today. So that percentage will probably go up, but I just went for him because he's got European experience. He formerly played for Malaga in Spain, so I think he's going to definitely be a very good addition to Vancouver. And Vancouver start with New York at home and then Chivas away. So if he kind of gets into a bit of a groove by the second game week, he could prove to be a very good acquisition to have in your fantasy team. So a couple of tips in case you're new and you're watching this and you want to get into it. I would definitely recommend playing as many midfielders as you can due to the way that bonus points are set up. And I'm going to take this part might be a little bit boring, especially for those of you who know the way or that know how this is already set up. But to take a look at the rules. Oh, I also forgot to mention that you can pick 4 players from each team, because as you saw, I had 4 Portland players. But yeah, you can have 4 now. It used to be 3 last year when you could only have 15 players in your team, but now it's 4, which I kind of like. I like that a lot. And hopefully down the road I'll have, like, you know, more RSL and Sporting Kansas City players in my team. But to look at scoring, this is probably the most important thing that's different from MLS fantasy and Premier League fantasy. So just take a look. As you see, you know, you get your usual 1 point for just playing, another point for playing at least 60 minutes. A goal scored by your goalkeeper or defenders is 6 points, and then by mids or forwards is 5. Assists is 3. You know, a lot of this is very similar to the Premier League fantasy. But clean sheets, you know, 4 points. Midfielders also get a point for keeping a clean sheet. But then here you have missing a penalty, you lose 2 points. A penalty save is 5. Something a bit different, if you actually get fouled and then a penalty is called, that player who got fouled is going to get 2 points. For an own goal, you lose 2. For an own goal assist, you get 1. So in Premier League fantasy, it would normally just count as an assist and you would get a full 3 points. But for this, you're just going to get the 1 point. For every 2 goals conceded, you lose a point. For every yellow card, you lose a point as well. For red, you lose 3. And for every 3 saves by, like, a goalkeeper or I guess possibly a defender, you'll get a point as well. And then this is actually kind of what's the most different about the 2 fantasies, is the attacking and defending bonuses in MLS. So for defenders, you'll get an extra point for every 6 clearances, blocks, or interceptions. You also get a point for every 6 recovered balls, and then you'll lose a point for every error that leads to a goal for the other team. And you can kind of tell how many, you know, how these kind of points can really rack up. And especially if a player's having a really good game, they could end up with like 3 defending bonuses, 4 defending bonus points. So you'll kind of see as the season gets going how that can actually really benefit your score. So and then looking at the attacking bonus, you'll get players will get 1 point for every 3 crosses, a point for every 3 key passes, which is a pass that leads to a shot on goal, and then you also get a point for every big chance created. And then I guess that's just subjective to an analyst. I don't know, but yeah, that's the way it looks. And also you'll kind of see how certain players end up getting those more often just by the way they play and just how they're involved with their team. So I would say that's definitely the most important differences. But then also something that's new this season, and that is also different from FPL and MLS fantasy, is the way that they have changed substitutions. So you can see this on the screen, but I'm just gonna condense it. It's basically if you have your squad set, and then the game week, or the round as they call it in this, is about to start. It doesn't just lock your team from substitutions, it locks the players whose game has already started. So say Actually, I'm just going to take it back to my team because I actually have a good example for this. Say Vancouver's new acquisition Morales here isn't in the lineup, isn't in the starting lineup this weekend. Since they play before FC Dallas, I could just go ahead and switch in Moffitt for Morales, even though, you know, these other games have already gone and probably already finished by then. So it's kind of a nice change. I don't know, I'm not really liking it too much, because, you know, all you really need to do is stay updated on like Twitter, and you'll be able to quickly make a change, which you know, that kind of just defeats the purpose of having a team planned out ahead of time. But I guess, I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. It might actually help me for this weekend if Morales doesn't start. So I'm pretty sure that's the end of this video. Yeah, and then I'll just make another one after the first round of matches, and then we'll just get going on MLS Fantasy. I do also have a document, like a Word document or a Google document, that's pretty much the exact same thing that I've been doing with my FPL videos. I do have that, but my team has been going through so many changes that I'm just going to wait a couple of weeks until I actually get my team set, or I might have it in the next video. I'm not entirely sure, but it will definitely come. Oh, and one last thing before the video ends is that I am going to be hopefully doing really well in these leagues, and I'm going to probably join some more, and I'm just really hoping for a better season than last season, which if we go to, actually I'm not exactly sure where to find it. Just find my name right there, and then we'll see that last season I ranked 1,102nd, and actually kind of gave up towards when the playoffs started. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hopefully covered everything that I wanted to. Actually, I know I forgot one thing, which is back under rules, but it is here under substitutions, and that oh wait, where is it? Oh, transfers, that's right. I already covered substitutions. But yeah, pretty much every week you're gonna get 2 free transfers, which is really nice. I shouldn't really have to take too many hits bringing in 3 players, but if I do, then it will actually probably be pretty rare. But you also get a couple of unlimited transfers for the weeks that the fixtures are really odd or only a couple teams play, which is also really nice. But again, kind of defeats the purpose of having to plan things out ahead of time. You know, it just gives you unlimited transfers. It kind of seems a bit cheap, but I guess it's to help the newer players, because there are a lot of new players this season. So that's what everything's looking like. Here is the home page, and you know, it has a whole bunch of statistics as to the most selected players and whatnot. So thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, or you know, anything you want to add, or if you want to make a league, if you're playing this, just hit me up and I'll add it. I'll join the Classic League. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Goodbye.